A Shalom, Ka'ala Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakaha Kadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives to do so. To their scattered, hopeful elect across the four corners of the earth, and those among the heathen nations that look like the heathen nations, pursuant to Jeremiah 12:9, known as the speckled birds. So this is not a black thing, nor do we teach that. We've never taught that. If the Spirit bear witness with our spirit, that person understands the truth of the Scriptures, then they are Israelites. Right? I am disciple Pariam, a follower of Great Millstone, coming to you with a lesson in truth and sincerity. This lesson is be titled "Trust in Prayer and Not in Self-Control." All right. And so, real quick, when we get into self-control, we see essentially that it is a psychological and executive function that allows you to regulate your emotions, thoughts, and behaviors to resist impulses and achieve long-term goals. The thing is just trying to say that, this helps you prioritize future benefits over instant gratification. But, also trying to say that, you essentially have control over those of, for example, like your house, right? And this is what this lesson is going to go into regarding a conversation that I had with a friend who's in the world. Essentially, I just got back from a family vacation not too long ago. And, just kind of explaining what was going on. And, we went to a really nice concert. I told him who the artist was. And he was like, oh, I can't follow them because, such and such and, their beliefs and the things that they do. I don't want my kids following that. Okay, well, we are to be, we're in the world, but we're not of the world. And then if you teach your child correctly, you can enjoy music but you don't have to enjoy, the person for who they are. And, they're not going to follow that and put that above, especially put that above the Most High. Okay. So with that said, here it says sometimes power, takes you on a journey that you didn't know you needed. So to bring you everything you ever wanted. So you got to trust in His plan. Okay. So essentially, approaching prayer and life with a lack of faith indicates that your heart is relying on human doubt or understanding of self-control rather than Yahweh's power. And the Scriptures describes this condition and offers guidance in how to navigate it. So this is Exodus 19:6. It says, "And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and an holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel." Obviously, he doesn't know that he's a child of Israel. The Spirit's not with him. Okay? But we're to be priests, not rely on priests, right? Not put our children in schools where we know where known PEDOs have been and are probably still are, aka, the Catholic Church, right? So, yeah. This is Proverbs 22:6. It says, "Train up a child in the way that he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it." Okay? So again, they're going to have a solid foundation, right? Not a foundation, built on sand. This is 1 Timothy 3:4-5 in the NLT. It says, "He must manage his own family well, having children who respect and obey him. For if a man cannot manage his own household, how can he take care of Yahweh's church?" Okay? And again, you can't manage your own household. You're trying to call out something, right? Not, you didn't really call me out, but, you're trying to call out something that, that we like musically or whatever, right? But you calling the kettle black, right? You got your kids again in Catholic school. You should probably look to take out the stick or the log in your eye out first, right? So here it says, when you don't trust in prayer and trust in self-control, it hinders your requests, right? Your prayer requests. Verses 6 through 7, it says, but let him ask in faith. So let me make that a little bigger. Not wavering. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Lord. When you go to NLT, it reads, but when you ask him, be sure that your faith is in Yahweh alone. Do not waver, for a person with divided loyalty is as unsettled as a wave of the sea that is blown and tossed by the wind. Such people should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. So again, in trusting your self-control and not trusting in the Lord, it displeases the Lord, man. This is Hebrews 11:6. It makes it clear that without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to power must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. And it hinders the answers to prayer, right? First and foremost, you calling on Jesus Christ is going to hinder your answer regardless, okay? But again, in all things whatsoever ye shall ask in prayer, believing ye shall receive. This is John 14, verses 13, 14. And whatsoever ye shall ask in my name, that will I do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son. If ye shall ask anything in my name, I will do it. I'll read the NLT. It says, you can ask for anything in my name, and I will do it, so that the Son can bring glory to the Father. Yes, ask me for anything in my name, and I will do it. All right. And then, you got a lot of people who, you guys don't have the name. The name's not going to be known, like these IUIC people, right? Wait, this is a prayer, Yahweh Shai. It says red letters, man. This is John 17:6. It says, I have manifested thy name unto the men which thou gavest me of the world. Thine they were, and thou gavest me them me, and they have kept thy word. When you go to Slaki NLT, it reads, let me pull up something real quick. It reads, I have revealed you to the ones who gave me from this world. They were always yours, and you gave them to me, and they have kept your word. All right. So, and then I'm going to read a little bit more. This is in John 17:7. It says, now they have known that all things whatsoever thou hast given me are of thee. For verses 8, it says, for I have given unto them the words which thou gavest me, and they have received them, and have known surely that I came out of thee, and they have believed that thou didst send me. Okay, let me get this something in the I think there was something I read in the NLT not so long ago. Okay, so I want to go ahead and move forward. It says, so it reveals fear over trust. This is John 8:24. When you trust in your self-control rather than you trust in the Lord, right? You're trusting your own prayer in prayer. It says, I said therefore unto you that ye shall die in your sins. For if ye believe not that I am he, ye shall die in your sins. And obviously you talk to that person, but if they don't want to receive it, they don't want to receive it, right? And last, I'm going to finish off in Jeremiah chapter 10, verses 23. It says, O Lord Yahweh, I know that the way of man is not in himself. It is not in man that walketh to direct his steps. You get in the NLT, it reads, I know, Yahweh, that our lives are not our own, and we are not able to plan our own course. right? So you could say, these things. Oh, you don't believe in that, or it's like you think it's like if a child sees something, they're just gonna be like that person. No, man, you instill the proper knowledge, wisdom, understanding in them as a priest of your own house. Okay, if you don't, and hey, the Lord's is gonna take that candlestick away, man. And it's not like you had it in the first place, but they could do that. Anyways, I pray this lesson has been edifying. Shalom, Kwam Yasharallah, and on to the next.